Hi, morning. My name is Cheok and I'm an active health coach from Sports Singapore. Today we're going to cover some exercises for those of you who like to go hiking. Okay, as you know, when you go hiking in the forest and everything, the ground is really uneven. So, occasionally there's going to be, you might you might sprain your ankle, or, with all the climbing and descending, you might, it might affect your knee. So what we're doing today is the exercises are going to help you to improve your balance, okay, and hopefully prevent some injuries as well. 今天的运动是帮那些喜欢去森林散步，所以如果你喜欢去森林散步，这些运动可以帮你的。Okay, so what do we need for the exercise session today? We will need a chair, okay, preferably a slightly higher one so it's not so difficult, and a resistance band, okay, and I'll explain how we're going to use this later. All right, so first we're going to do some warm-ups. All right, we do warm-ups to prepare the body for the exercise. Okay, so when we warm up, one thing we're going to do is we're going to do movements that are quite similar to the actions that we're going to do during the workout. So that's going to help to warm up the muscles and the joints in a way that is very similar to the exercise. So that's going to hopefully prevent some injury as well, and then bring our heart rate up a bit. Okay, we're going to do 3 warm-ups. Each of them is going to be 60 seconds. All right, let's go. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to balance on one leg. Okay, and what we're trying to do here is we're trying to train the muscles in the lower leg to stabilize the ankle. Okay, all right, so if you find that this is too difficult, okay, what you can do is you can put the ball of your foot down like that to provide some support, but just minimally. Okay, if you find that this is far too easy, what you can do is you can put a mat. You can use a mat or a towel, fold it, and make the ground more unstable. Okay, so for all of you who are doing this at home, which we all are because of the quarantine, try to have some footwear on. Okay, some nice soft shoes and everything to protect your feet, especially since this is for masters and seniors. Okay, so maybe our feet are a bit more tender and it'd be nice to have some cushioning. Okay, so just balance like that. Okay, all right, and then 60 seconds is up, and then we're going to move to the other leg. Okay, so for some of you, you might feel a bit of soreness in your foot when you do this. Okay, so once we're done with it, you can just walk around a bit and it will help to relax the muscles in your foot. Okay, so just keep at it like that. Okay, same thing. All right, if you need a bit of support, just touch your toes on the ground like that. Okay, all right, very good. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to march on the spot. Okay, we just march. Bring your knees up and swing your arms. Make sure your elbows go all the way to the front and to the back. Okay, what we're trying to do here is to bring our heart rate up a bit, okay, and warm the muscles, like I said earlier, so that, when the tendons and the muscles are warmed up, you're less likely to have a strain or an injury later. Okay, all right, now you should be feeling the temperature going up and your heart rate is going up a little, and your breathing as well. Okay, nice and high. All right, everyone feeling okay? Very good. Okay, that's good. So now we're going to go on to the third exercise for this warm-up. All right, so this is also going to help us. We're doing a squat to a single leg stand. What this is going to do is it's going to help us activate our hips. All right, activate our hips and our leg muscles as well. All right, so I'm just going to, what we have to do is squats, right? So this is going to apply to the exercises later on as well. When we do the squat, right, we want to make sure that you push your hips back and your knees don't go past your toes. All right, why do we do that? It's important for you to push your hips back like that so that instead of using these muscles, right, you are engaging your hip muscles more. Okay, a lot of research has shown that if we do this a lot and we over-engage our quads, it leads to knee pain. Okay, so we're going to do a squat down like that, and then up to single leg. Okay, and then down and up, down and up. Okay, if you have trouble like lifting up your leg all the way, right, then just squat and then up a little bit and down. Okay, but try and bring your knees nice and high. Okay. All right. Okay, very good. So now maybe we'll just take a quick moment to go and have a sip of water. All right, and walk around a bit if your feet feel a bit sore from the warm up. Okay, and then we're going to start with the exercise. The first exercise we're going to do is a single leg squat into a tiptoe. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go into a shallow squat like that, and then you're going to come up to a tiptoe. Oops, come up to a tiptoe. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so down and then up. Okay, so once again, if this exercise is too easy for you, I mean, if it's a bit difficult to balance like that, keep this toe down, the toes of the other foot down on the ground. Go into your squat and then up and down and up. Okay. Conversely, if you feel that this exercise isn't challenging enough for you, right, you can just go down and then hop. Okay. All right, and down. Ooh. Sorry. And down and hop. So same thing, keep the knee behind your toes, okay? And also make sure that this knee doesn't go towards the middle like that, okay? So down and up and down and up, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to change sides, okay? And go. Okay, so right about now, right, you should be feeling a bit of soreness in your calves and your hips. All right, this is very normal. Okay, it's a slow exercise, but these exercises they tend to be a little bit strenuous. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to go on to the second workout. The second workout, again, we're going to balance on the leg like that. All right. We're going to go down and touch your toes. This is called single leg deadlift with toe touch. Okay. So down. What we want to do is bring the shoulders straight down like that. Touch and come back up again. All right. Similarly, if it's too difficult, have one foot giving partial support like that and down. Okay. So the other thing you want to do is if for whatever reason you can't go all the way down to your toes, okay, then you can just touch your calf instead. Touch here. All right. And if that is still too difficult, you can just touch your knee. Okay. Like that. But for those of you who can, let's go all the way down here, right? And if you find that this is not that challenging for you, you can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell to hold on to like that and lift. Okay? All right? So now just take a bit of a breather. You know, shake your foot around a bit just to loosen it up. All right? And then we're going to move to the other foot. Okay? So same thing, go down and come up. Okay, I'm just going to move back a bit. Down and up. Okay? So what does this do? This one really helps to activate your hips and your core. Okay? So it's very good. It's very good for landing. Okay, so when you're walking or jogging and you land, right, it helps provide a lot of hip and core stability. All right, so although I said that these exercises are for hiking, even if it's just running, football or basketball, it's going to help improve your balance as well. Okay, so now we're going to do the next exercise. we're going to need this resistance band. Okay, so you can either, if you have one like this, or even if you don't have one like this and you have a long resistance band, right, you can just, instead of just putting it round like that, you can also, if you have the long one, you can just take it and tie it around like a shoelace, okay, and that's going to have the same effect essentially. So the next one we're going to do is called a squat and crab walk, okay. So we're just going to go into a squat position like that, then go 1, 2, up, all right, and down, and 1, 2, up. Okay, so these exercises are all 45 seconds on. So if you're really fit, you can do them faster, all right, but if this is just as your own fitness level. So as long as you're doing it at a pace that is slightly challenging, then you've achieved your goal already, all right? Okay, so it's down, and out, and out, and up, all right? And down, and out, and out, and up. Okay, so just remember, same thing, hips back, knees not past the toes, all right? So in doing this exercise, right, we are using the side hip muscles here, and what that does is research has shown that it actually helps to reduce knee pain. Okay, and down, and down. All right, very good. So now we're going to move on to the last exercise. All right, it's a single leg sit to stand. So this is where we need a chair. So do not use a chair that has got wheels on it, because that could be quite dangerous. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to balance on one leg like this. Then we're going to sit into the chair, all right? Just down like that, and back up. Make sure your knees are behind, and your heels, you put most of the weight on your heel, all right? And down, and up, and down, and up, all right? So this is also another very good exercise to strengthen your hips, okay? And because most of us, we sit so long, right, our hip muscles have been switched off. So it tends to lead to lower back and knee pain, all right? Okay, so good, we're done. And then take a short break, and we're going to go to the other leg now. And down, and up, and down, and up. So once again, if it's too difficult for you, have the balls of your other foot down like that to provide support, okay? But don't put most of your weight on this leg still, all right? Okay, very good. So this comes to the end of our first set, and we're going to go for a 1-minute commercial break now. Thank you. Hey, hi, welcome back. So I hope you had a chance to drink some water and get a bit of rest, okay? And also walk around a little bit in case your feet were a little bit sore. Okay, now we're going to do the second set, all right? So Remember there were 4 exercises that we did, right? Okay, the first one is a single leg squat into tiptoe. So just shallow squat and then tiptoe, and shallow squat and tiptoe. Okay, so just make sure that you can balance. Once again, you know, if you need to, keep this foot down like that, okay? Just to provide a little bit of support. This will be maybe a bit challenging for some of you doing it the first time, okay? If not, down and up, all right? And once again, if it's too easy, you can hop, okay? And down and hop, and down and hop, all right? So this is a very good one. It also trains your leg to absorb impact, all right? So when you train your muscles to do that properly, what happens is, when you do land and everything, chances of a muscle strain or a ligament injury is reduced as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the other leg. Okay, so down. Remember to keep your hips back and your knees back, and tiptoe. Okay, and down and tiptoe, all right? Okay, so all these exercises we're doing today are slow and controlled exercises, okay? We're just trying to train the body to be able to stabilize itself. Later on, you know, if you get to the point where these exercises are too easy, we can show like more dynamic exercises for you all to do. But for now, let's just stick to this. Okay, so let's go to the second exercise. Remember, we're just going to balance on our leg like that. We're going to lean over and touch our toes. Down and up. And down and up. Okay, so remember, once again, with all the single leg exercises, if you want to make it a bit easier on yourself, it's usually the same. Keep the ball of your foot on the ground, okay? And go down and touch. And also, like I said, if for whatever reason you're not flexible enough, something hurts when you go too far down, touch your calf and up. And in the most extreme cases, whoa, okay? In the most extreme cases, just touch your knee, okay? And up. Okay, so as you do this for 45 seconds, right, you'll realize that your hips and all are going to start to burn, and maybe your feet as well, okay? So let's move on to the other foot now. Same thing, down and up, and down and up. Okay, so because this is for masters and seniors as well, all right, all these exercises are also just good for fall prevention in general. Okay, so all these things, you're strengthening your hips and you're teaching your nervous system how to stabilize the body, and it is good for fall prevention. Okay, so remember, just go down and up, and down and up. Okay, now we're going to move on to our third exercise. Remember what it is? This with the resistance band, okay? So just make sure when you're doing this, try not to put on the band while you're standing up, okay? Because if you do that and you mistime it a bit, you might just lose your balance and fall. So just sit down. Put the band here, remember, just below the knees, okay? And stand up straight, go into a squat, all right? And step sideways, 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Okay, so if you find that this is easy, there's a couple of ways you can make it more difficult, all right? You can either use a band with more resistance, or if you have one of those long ones, you just double tie it to increase the resistance, okay? Another thing you can do is also, you can just crab walk for a longer time. So maintain the squat position and just go maybe to the end of the room, come up and down again. Okay, so remember, when you do the exercise, don't come up, okay? Keep the butt low, all right? So for those of you who are doing this, and maybe if you go very low and your knees start to hurt, then of course you just go into a half squat and do the same thing, all right? Because the muscles that we're more concerned about here are the side hip muscles, all right? So going into the squat engages the hips, and then this works the side muscles. All right? Okay. Oops. All right, our fourth exercise. We've come to the end already, okay? So this is the final exercise. We're going to do single leg sit to stand, all right? So remember what I said? Balance on one leg like that. Push your hips back and sit into your chair. All right? And up. And down. And up. And down. So remember, same thing, all right? If you need an assist, just put the ball of your foot on the ground. Put just a little bit of weight on it to help you out, okay? All right, and then try and keep the weight on this heel when you go down, okay? So what I didn't mention earlier is, let's say you do this and you find that it's quite easy. What you can do is you can go and find a lower chair, okay? Because when you have to go lower, then it's going to be more challenging on your hips, okay? And down and up. All right, so just take a quick breather and then we're going to move on to our left leg. Okay. Okay, so these will be a bit challenging for you in the beginning. So it's not a contest about who can do it better. It's about self-improvement, okay? Our Active Health slogan is better beats perfect. So we're just trying to improve ourselves, okay? So if you need to in the beginning, well, your body gets used to it. You know, don't be shy, just use the extra support and go down, all right? But it seems difficult, but you pick up on it very quickly, okay? All right, very good. We've come to the end of the workout session. Now we're going to cool down. Okay, it's very important. The warm-up and the cool down is very important. So, I mean, most of us, we're fortunate if we're healthy and we don't cool down, you know, we can get away with it. But for people who maybe have a bit of high blood pressure and stuff like that, if they don't cool down properly, blood pressure might drop very suddenly, you might pass out. Or, you know, if you have diabetes, blood sugar might drop very rapidly as well. So we try and make it a good habit to cool down. Okay, so the first exercise we're doing is just a breathing exercise. You're going to put your hand on your ribs, okay, and just breathe. So what you want to feel is the rib cage rising and falling, okay? So what we're doing is taking long, deep breaths, and what this does is it starts to relax the body and lower the heart rate, okay? All right. So after all this exercise, oxygen levels will be slightly lower, and that's what the breathing does. So it helps to bring things back to balance. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a quad stretch. These are your quads, your front thigh muscles. Okay, so you're just going to grab your ankle and do it. Okay, so for some of you who might have a bit of trouble doing this, what you can do is just hold on to a chair. Okay, well, maybe not this chair, or like a wall. Okay, just pretend there's a wall there and you just hold on to it. Okay, very good. And the next stretch we're going to do is for our hips. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit into the chair and we're just going to cross our legs like that and lean forward. Okay, so this is a very good stretch. It's going to stretch out your hips and the back of your thighs a little bit. Okay, so what this does is, especially if you get a sore back quite often, this actually provides a lot of relief as well. Okay, very good. So after 30 seconds, we switch over to the other leg. Okay, very good. And then our next stretch is a calf stretch, okay? This is your calf. All right, so what we're going to do is stand in this position like that. What you want to make sure is both your toes are pointing forward, all right? And the back heel is on the ground. Okay, once you have that happening, you move your knee slightly forward and you should be able to feel the stretch in your back calf. All right? Okay, And then after half a minute, I'm going to move over to the other side, like that. Okay, so it's after exercise while the muscles are warm and you take the time to stretch them, right, then they won't tighten up so much, okay? And because with tight muscles, your injury risk goes up as well, which is why stretching after exercise especially is very important, okay? The next exercise is for our hamstrings, okay? This is our hamstring muscles, the back thigh muscles. So we can just put the heel out like that. We're going to stretch our hands as far down as they will go until you feel a nice stretch in your leg there like that. Okay, so because we sit so much, right? Our generation, most of us are office bound and we sit so much. Okay, this muscle is in a perpetually shortened position. Okay, so that has been shown also to be a source of back pain and knee pain. All right, so it's nice once in a while. So even if you're in the office or now during lockdown and you're watching Netflix, it's a good idea to just get up and stretch once in a while, okay? All right, very good. Now we're going to do a stretch for your hip flexors, okay? And you just need a chair, have one leg hanging out like that, push the leg as far back as possible and keep it straight while keeping your back upright. That is going to stretch the muscles here. These are also tight because we sit so much, okay? So just, it's also important to stretch these out, okay? And once you're done, turn around like that and stretch. All right, so now we're going to do the final exercise, all right? The final stretch. Okay, it's for our inner thigh muscles here, okay? So we just need to sit on the floor, all right? Put your feet together. Keep your knees as low as possible. For me, my hamstrings here are really tight, so I can't really go all the way down. So pull your feet close to your body and lean forward. Okay. All right, so I hope you found today's session very useful and insightful. I know this is a very difficult time for all of us while we stay home and try and stay sane, especially with all our family members around who we can't run away from. So do try and stay as active as possible, practice social distancing, and try and stay active as well. So thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.